Uber reportedly will sell its flying taxi business to secretive startup Joby Aviation. Never heard of them. The company is looking to exercise money-losing parts of its business as it seeks to become profitable. Now, if you look back at my videos over the last 2 to 3 years, every time they started these new crazy ideas, right, I would say stick to what you do best, and that is rideshare, transportation, ground transportation, all of these other things. You're just pouring billions and billions of dollars in, and they're distracting the company from the direction it should be heading in. And here we are in 2020, and they are just offloading, offloading, offloading. We'd predicted this 2 to 3 years ago. So there are all these little fancy renderings there that are going nowhere. Let other experts focus on that. Uber's ambitious and effort to launch a flying taxi service is coming in for a landing, not quite a crash landing, but a landing. According to Axios, the ride-hailing company has agreed to sell its Uber Elevate division to secretive startup Joby Aviation. The news comes as Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi attempts to push his company closer to profitability, which includes the sale of the money-losing parts of the business, multiple parts. The company is also said to be exploring the sale of its autonomous vehicle division. A spokesman for Uber declined to comment. Interesting, they don't like to comment. Uber first announced its interest in launching a network of electric flying taxis in a white paper published in 2016. Under Uber's calculations, a 2-hour, 12-minute slog from San Francisco to San Jose would become a breezy 15 minutes by flying car. A 2-hour, 10-minute battle through Sao Paulo gridlock would be transformed to an 18-minute pleasure ride. Last year, Uber started offering helicopter trips from Manhattan to JFK International Airport. The trips were meant to offer a taste of what the experience would be like to use the Uber app to summon a flight rather than a car ride. And the company certainly saw it as an opportunity to gather data for its air taxi plans. Those plans were ambitious, as Khosrowshahi always is. He loves starting things, start cycler. He's not really good at completing, and perhaps doomed from the start. It relied on a technology, electric-powered aviation, that was still under development and had yet to be tested as part of a commercial service, and it would have been costly to implement, requiring the construction of a vast network of rooftop or ground-level skyports and regulatory approval from a host of federal, state, and local agencies. The choice of Joby Aviation as buyer makes sense. In December 2019, the ride-hailing company said it would join forces with the Northern California-based aerospace company, which has been working on electric aircraft for over a decade. Joby was the first company to commit to Uber's aggressive timetable to launching a flying taxi service by 2023. Joby is the brainchild of inventor Joe Ben Bevert, who started the company in 2009 and operated in a relatively obscurity until 2018, when Joby announced it had raised a surprising $100 million from a variety of investors, including the venture capital arms of Intel, Toyota, and JetBlue. The company helped finance the development of the company's air taxi prototype, which has been conducting test flights at Joby's private airfield in Northern California. Bevert helps run an incubator outside of Santa Cruz that's been described as a quasi-commune. Unlike the dozens of other companies that are currently building electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL aircraft, Joby has kept much of its project under wraps. A few renderings that are out there show a plane-drone hybrid with 12 rotors and room in the cabin for 4 passengers. Though a spokesman previously cautioned that what Joby is working on now is entirely new. The company lifted the curtain in January 2020 when it announced it had closed on a massive $590 million round of venture capital funding. Joby also announced that it was teaming up with previous investor Toyota to launch an air taxi service using its new aircraft. The all-electric aircraft has 6 rotors and seats, 5, including the pilot. It can take off vertically like a helicopter and then shift into forward flight using tilt rotors. Joby says it can reach a top speed of 200 miles per hour, travel 150 miles on a single charge, and is 100 times quieter than a conventional aircraft. Of course, many companies, Joby included, have promised revolutionary new aircraft for years, only to miss deadlines or fail to live up to past promises. Kitty Hawk, the flying car venture backed by Google co-founder Larry Page, had to recognize amid reports about breakdowns, battery fires, and return deposits. Another startup, Zunum, is locked in a legal fight with its former investor, Boeing. Not mentioned here, but I've seen this thing in action, is the one that BMW created. Watch that one. The jury is still out on whether an electric vertical takeoff and landing-based air taxi system would make an appreciable contribution to a next-generation transportation system, or whether it would simply be an escape hatch for the super rich to avoid street-level traffic congestion. Your thoughts on this one? Interesting article. Going nowhere, Mr. Khosrowshahi, going absolutely nowhere. Sell it. Try to recoup your losses. Now, huge shout out to the gig protection plan company Cover, Kover. You get 1 month free with the link beneath this video. Package starts at $7 a month, 24/7 health service, automatic mileage tracking, paid time off, sick leave. You can advance yourself monies, get 80% of your lost wages covered if you end up in hospital, the car ends up in a body shop. Now, the one part that I really like is the legal protection, right? Too many drivers, too many delivery drivers as well, get deactivated by these companies, and then you need legal protection. So in comes the legal arm, legalrideshare.com. They send off letters, legal letters to the gig companies and say, hang on, you wrongfully terminated my client, put them back behind the wheel. What makes legal rideshare so special is that they've literally focused on the gig world, on the rideshare community. In case you ever get injured in an accident, your riders get injured, your car has property damage, or you're losing wages because you've been in hospital for several months, they will handle the entire insurance claims process for you. Now, just a word of advice. This comes from Brian Greening, one of the heavy hitters, one of the attorneys at Legal Rideshare. If you do get into an accident, make sure you go and get a doctor report or a hospital report or visit the ER to get it documented. Right, that's one of the biggest tips he gave me. So your comments, please, on this whole high-flying Elevate business. Do you think it was a massive mistake by Uber? Are they better off selling or offloading these ventures that didn't work? Right? Your thoughts, please. Have a great day.